Vamos falar aqui, né? Qual ser? Obrigado a todos aí pelo likezão. Muito obrigado, meus amigos.
Hey. I bet operations on the key are a clown show.
You're back. So how did it go? Frankly, it's because we've never gotten this far before. The last agent I sent to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet ended up in a morgue on New Atlantis. Even with our best intelligence equipment, we can monitor very little from the vigilance. We can pick up local communications chatter and use long-range scans to see where you travel. But when you're on the ground, you're on your own. If we get too close, we not only expose ourselves to an attack, but we might blow your cover, and that could get everyone killed. Then things are moving forward. Perfect.
Nice job, Rook.
I was certain we'd fool Delgado, but never. She's a sharp one. Overcoming her scrutiny is no small matter. Did you discover anything worth reporting yet? If the intelligence I've read is accurate, Delgado is a charismatic leader, but a bit short on judgment. That's why you want to stay on his good side, and stay away from Neva. She's shrewd, and she's sniffed out everything we've thrown her way. I understand your concern, but you can rest assured that every member of this crew has been thoroughly vetted by both myself and Lieutenant Toft. Any information that you turn over will not be leaving this ship until it's fully encrypted and encoded. I give you my word. Legacy. Why does that sound familiar? Wait a moment. Are you telling me Delgado may have actually located Crix's legacy?
I suppose it's possible, sir. Intelligence picked up a bit of chatter on that subject recently. We assumed it was some sort of tall tale or a story to attract recruits to their cause. Well, let's find out if Delgado's chasing ghosts, or he's smarter than we suspect. Let me see what we have here. Nope. There are no records of a Galbank transport named the Legacy in the database. I think Delgado's trying to manipulate you. What do you think, sir?
I think there's no record because Galbank is hiding something. Delgado's no fool. If he risked his own neck to get that information, then he must be on to something. We have to take this seriously. What's your next move? That one's simple. We monitored your ships heading down to the surface of Suvorov. In fact, when he returned to the key and you didn't immediately follow, well, we almost thought our operation was terminated. Can you imagine the amount of embarrassment Galbank would have to endure if they listed a lost transport in the ship registry? Doesn't matter if that ship went down 5 or 500 years ago. If news gets out that a bank has misplaced money, it would tank their value. Clever, Delgado. Very clever. If I were in your place, I'd be trying to do the exact same thing. We can't let Delgado get his hands on what could potentially turn out to be the largest haul of credits the Crimson Fleet's ever seen.
Maybe I should head out to New Atlantis, sir. I could press the Galbank execs for information. Get ahead of everything.
No. Let's allow this to run its course. We have our agent here feeding us information. I think that's good enough for now. There's more to this than just finding the location of the transport. Jasper Cricks was clever. For some reason, he never got there. Because the Crimson Fleet would be a totally different adversary, and Cricks wouldn't have disappeared years ago. Even if they hid the money with that damn human computer Shinny of us, our forensic accounting people would have found that data. No, the Crimson Fleet are in dire shape right now. They haven't seen that much currency, well, ever. It's imperative that you do. If the Crimson Fleet gets its hands on a transport full of currency, it would be disastrous for the settled systems. I need you to do whatever you can to bring us more information. And for God's sake, don't kill anyone on that Starliner. You're both dismissed.
The Vigilance or flagship, where it goes? Yes?
About time you showed up. All right, I want to know what's going on. I've been trying to get Delgado's attention for, I don't know, 3 years now. And what do I get? Nothing but radio silence. Then out of nowhere, just when Neva and I are closing in on a huge score of our own, Delgado orders me to help you out. Oh, sure. First a tour, followed by a formal dinner at the captain's table. Let's get one thing straight. You're here for business, not for a vacation, so let's start by talking about Delgado's sudden olive branch. Happy? Oh, I'm thrilled. Still, this leaves me with a lot of unknowns, and in our line of work, unknowns get you killed. So Neva's message said you were here for Dombrowski. Was that all she sent you here to do? Or was there something else you were sent here to steal? Okay. So why are you targeting a Gall Bank exec anyway? Not exactly your average Crimson Fleet prey. Why the interest? Merchant vessels, transport, supply convoys, mining settlements, you get the picture. But taking on a megacorp, that's a really big deal. Something the Crimson Fleet stayed away from in the past. Sounds to me like Delgado's either getting desperate, or this is leading to an even bigger score down the road. Playing it safe for now. Okay. I can respect that. But let's make one thing clear. If I'm gonna stick my neck out by helping you get near Dombrowski, I want something in return. Oh no. No. Delgado isn't gonna drop a cred stick on the table and be done with it. I don't want money. I want back into the Crimson Fleet. It's as simple as that. All right. See, that wasn't so hard, was it? Now, let's talk business. Dombrowski's a full-timer aboard the Siren of the Stars. Probably spends more time cruising the space lanes than actually working. Fortunately, the Siren is hosting the Terran Preservation Society charity gala. Larry won't be able to resist showing off his VIP clout. To get what you need, you're gonna have to attend the gala, talk to his fellow philanthropists, and dig up some dirt. The event's a complete sham. Bunch of rich snobs getting together and throwing a party for themselves. These people couldn't give a damn about Terran preservation or any other charity for that matter. Someone with enough disposable income to afford a permanent 6-figure cabin aboard one of Trident's finest space liners. Consider it similar to owning a luxury mobile vacation home. Plaything for the wealthy, you get the gist. Yeah, well, lucky for you, it's not black tie, so you'll be fine. This card will allow you to access the Starfield ballroom. If you need my help, I'll be relaxing in one of the upper-level lounges. Head inside and mingle with the crowd. No one likes Dombrowski, so they'll be more than happy to share his dirty secrets. He's a VIP executive, which means he either worked really, really hard using blood, sweat, and tears to make the arduous climb to the top, or he backstabbed, lied, cheated, and betrayed his way up the corporate ladder. From what I've heard, it's the second option. Now you're speaking my language. Oh, there's one last thing. Trident equips all of their starliners with the latest acoustic threat detection. Meaning that you lose patience and kill anyone aboard the ship, security will be alerted and all hell will break loose. Anyway, I suppose that's enough to get you started. Good luck. What the hell? When I asked you earlier, you said you weren't here for anything else. Not only did you lie to me, but now you're telling me that she sent you after the award alone? Yeah? And I suppose it's just a coincidence you happen to be asking me about the very thing Neva and I agreed to steal together. I can't believe she's trying to cut me out of this deal. Without me, the award never would have ended up here in the first place. Yeah? Funny you're only bringing that up now. Fine, I'll help. But you're doing all the legwork, and I'm still taking my cut of the payout. So tell me, what's the status of your plan? Okay, then let me point you to the person in charge of the award. Her name's Sheila Holbrook, and you can probably find her in the Starfield ballroom. I'd press her to reveal where the award's hidden, and we can go from there. And if you're thinking of pulling the trigger on poor Miss Holbrook, remember that any gunfire is gonna set off the ship's alarms. Oh, and while you're at the gala, avoid the canapes. They're frozen, not fresh.
Listen. Can't hear the engines, can you? You're not going to find better-tuned engines anywhere else in the settled systems.
Every day that I wake up in my bunk, I count my blessings. Captain Rokov said you're allowed in any of the crew-specific areas. Just no touching anything, please.
Between you and me, the best part of my job is getting a crack at all of the
There's nothing quite like the view from the Starview ballroom. It's breathtaking.
I'm sorry, but unless you're reporting a security situation, I need to get back to you.
Quite a lovely starlight.
Yes,
Nothing
I'm
but the best for
extremely
the
busy
society,
preparing
eh?
for the award ceremony, so this better be important. Not at all. I was assured that this particular ship was outfitted with the absolute latest in cutting-edge security. I am completely confident that Trident Luxury Lines will keep all of us safe. Probably in a few days. I don't want the award transfer to actually occur until we're safely in orbit at our destination. Of course, if I keep getting interrupted, the ceremony might never take place at all. Yes, I am. Actually, I've been entrusted with the transfer of the award for the last 7 of its 9 years. Why do you ask? Well, the Earth Savior Award is one of a kind. The Blue Diamonds alone are irreplaceable. Since we can't produce a new award every year, it's instead passed from one recipient to the next. I supervise the transfer and make certain that there's ample security during transport and at the destination. Yes, it's quite marvelous, isn't it? Absolutely priceless. Alas, I'm afraid you'll just have to wait for the ceremony to see it in all its glory. It's far too valuable to be left anywhere else except the master safe located at the purser's office. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much more important things on my agenda than to speak to the likes of you.
Any complaints about your position?
Glad to have... You're bored. Welcome to the purser's office. I'm Chief Purser Murata. How can I be of assistance today? An excellent question. My responsibilities include all of the Siren's financial, customs, and commercial goods transfers. Honestly, I really enjoy the work. I get to meet people at every port of call instead of being constantly stuck below decks. Oh, absolutely! The safe is magnetically sealed and shielded with multiple layers of fully damage-resistant, vacuum-proof plating. In an unlikely event, our vessel is boarded and the threat detection alarm is triggered. The safe will be permanently sealed until it reaches port. In the even more unlikely event this ship is destroyed, we can assure you that your loved ones will be able to recover your goods from the wreckage. So, As you can imagine, your property will be completely secure until you decide to retrieve them from our safe. I've only seen it briefly myself, but I can assure you that it's quite lovely. Unfortunately, the item is locked inside of our safe, which can only be accessed by presenting an appropriate claim ID. Is there anything else I can assist you with today? Well, if you change your mind, I'll be here. Have a wonderful trip. I'm sorry. It's against Trident policy to discuss our personal feelings towards a fellow crewmate. I don't want to lose my job. Why should I tell you? Maybe so. I hear you. That's what I'm hoping. Nobody wants that. You think I'm a pushover? I appreciate your interest, but I'm forbidden to disclose any personal information. It's not about money, it's about my career. I get fired from Trident, that's it for me. Back to scrubbing tables at the Terra Brew. No problem. Is there anything else I can help you with today? I'm sorry, it's against Trident policy. Don't forget to tell your friends how much you enjoy the cruise.
So, what brings you aboard?
Must you continue these unwelcome interruptions? I'm a very busy woman. Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I do something as foolish as that? And why in goodness name would I possibly agree to that ridiculous demand? You may think so, but I don't. I hear you. Don't get ahead of yourself. Oh, this is... I should say so. Must you continue? Excuse me? And why in goodness name would I... And why in goodness name would I possibly agree to that ridiculous demand? I wish I could, but if anybody found out I told you... Nobody wants that. I'm still willing to talk. Oh, just take the damn thing already. Listen, maybe you can keep this between us. If the award goes missing, there's no need for the insurance company to get involved.
I've done this particular cruise run several times.
Eu jurava que ia errar de novo, mano. Tava de verdade. Esse capacete aqui é mó bonito, mano. Só que se eu roubar...
Hello. Are you a member of the society? Pleased to make your acquaintance.
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it? Have you tried the canapes? Horrid. Positively horrid. The considerable amounts of cash that Dombrowski donates are the only reason we allow him to attend society functions. Well, apparently the award is so valuable, there's only one in existence. It gets passed to a new winner every year. That's all then? Okay. The society chair has really outdone herself this time.
Here for business? Pleasure.
Sorry, mind moving along? Try to enjoy the celebration.
If you have any specific requests, please speak to one of the crew's attendants.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events before Starlight.
Hello? Are you a member of the... Let's put it this way. He's screwed over so many people. If he suddenly disappeared from the universe, I don't think anyone would miss him. It's for the Society's high rollers. If you don't have more than 8 figures in your account, I wouldn't even bother going after the award. Nice to have met you.
Quite a lovely starliner. Nothing but the best for the Society, huh?
An open bar would have been nice, but Triton's gouging us for every credit we've got.
Yeah, can we do this later? I'm busy.
In the event of a lockdown, remember to return to your cabin in a quiet and orderly fashion.
Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid.
I'm sorry. I don't believe we've met. Do I know you? My word. Is that supposed to be a veiled threat of some kind? I'm certain we've never been acquainted before, so I'll do you the courtesy of forewarning you about the impertinence that's to follow. When you approach me, I'd highly advise you to choose your words carefully. Otherwise, it's likely they will be your last. I think we're done here. Good day. Ah, we're speaking again. Lovely. I can't possibly think of anything I'd rather be doing at this very moment. Oh, think you've cracked the case, Detective? Bravo. I'm not certain why you're approaching me with this harassment, but I can assure you that you've made a potentially life-threatening mistake. Perhaps you're unaware of the extent of my influence, or perhaps you're irrevocably stupid. I'll assume it's the latter and overlook it for now. Here on out, I prefer you keep your distance.
The society chair has really outdone herself this time.
Here for business or pleasure?
That view is absolutely spectacular, isn't it?
So, what's... I heard he uses Galbank's VIP suites on the Siren of the Stars almost monthly. Does the man ever do any real work? All I know is that the award is given to whomever... Huh. Well, that was boring.
I certainly hope they decide to hold all future society events aboard the Starliner. Pleased to make your acquaintance. His behavior towards women is abominable. That man really ought to be ashamed of himself. Don't forget to donate to the cause. Hello.
Quite
Are you a member of the
lovely
society?
starlet. Larry has an A-level executive rating over at Galbank, which means he has access to everyone's accounts at the touch of a button. Sheila Holbrook is chair of the award committee this year. The way she dotes over that glorified trophy, you'd think it was her own child. It is a shame that the Earth ended in such a sorry state, but I'm glad the Society has the nerve to do something about it. Enjoy the rest of the event.
That view... He's been spending a lot of time with Claudia Swist. Quality time, if you catch my meaning. I'm certain his wife doesn't know a thing about it. That's all then? Okay.
An open bar would have been nice. Trident's gouging us for every credit we've got. Have you tried the canopies? Horrid. Positively horrid.
The
So, what
society
brings you
chair
aboard?
has really outdone herself this time.
Here for business or pleasure?
The ship's purser can assist you with any matters regarding the security of your items. Please remember to obey all posted...
Sorry. Do I know you? Okay, that's a hell of a way to open a conversation. Why don't you cut the crap before I tell my partner that you're harassing me? Believe me, you don't want to piss him off. I can't believe this is happening. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No! He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works, so let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy? If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that? I'd love to see that man suffer. That's true. For once, I would like to see him squirm. That's true. You have come this far already. Why should I take the risk? You know what? Forget it. The price of doing business by slinging mud is way too steep. What else you got? You're willing to pay me to give you dirt on Larry? Sorry, I thought I'd end up on the short end of the deal. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme where thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet. Yeah, I'm getting to that. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it. What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their commnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him. Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly Galbank worker drone, right? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Don't you have somewhere better?
I suggest avoiding such maneuvers in the future.
Hello. You here for the charity event? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Oh, I'm afraid that's a bit outside my wheelhouse. I work for UC Security, so I don't think I could be of much help. I have nothing to do with Galbank. Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off. Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authorities. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe? I told you to stay out of my way. I meant it.
An open bar would have been nice. Triton's gouging us for every credit we've got.
I saw your little exchange with Vera. Keep that up and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. But it's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls, and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency. Don't worry, it'll be as easy as it was mingling with the guests at the party. Just throw a few lousy switches and you're done. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort, but hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hot around here, and won't be long before Triton figures out you had help. Remember, the moment you shut down that system, the entire ship goes into lockdown.
Don't forget to keep your Starview pass handy at all times, or you won't have access to the ballroom.
Here for business or pleasure? The society chair has really outdone herself.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rocco's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you? Oh, sorry. That area is off limits. No exceptions. Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while I'm away? I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong. The quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. Whatever you do, don't break anything, or I'll be out of a job.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Our security team would appreciate if you please.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stop playing games and tell me why you're here. You're working for Ikande's little anti-pirating outfit? So what? I have nothing to do with the Crimson Fleet. And even if I suddenly decided to stay loyal to the old UC, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over evidence?
Please. The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency.
Claudia said that.
Please report to your
You sure?
cabins in an orderly
Damn it!
fashion and remain
That means
there
my money's
until you
already
receive
gone.
further instructions.
And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong. At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it. Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see.
Please report to your cabin.
I wasn't lying when I said I didn't know anything about your undercover work. If that's what you're trying to imply. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Ikande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Wait a moment. Are you telling me that this scheme is getting so out of hand, it also involves the Crimson Fleet? That's all I need right now. Enemies on two fronts. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates, thank you very much. You better tell Dombrowski to run, because if you don't kill him, I will.
All passengers may I have your attention, please?
At this time.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claude. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort. Au contraire, my misguided friend. There's a bargain that needs to be hammered out, and you will listen to the facts before we proceed. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud Galbank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. I pride myself on having an intensely thorough education, though I'd hardly call myself a professor. Though I'm sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my Galbank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along? Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is...
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling debt that Sandine owed me. But hey, you got the job done. I'm glad you feel that way. Just remember to tell Delgado how much I pitched in to help. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner?
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Of course. I understand completely. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Overreach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it. Nonsense. If there's one universal constant you can depend on, it's that Yevgeny Rokov always makes good on his deals. Always. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet, we'll be aboard the Key.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately.
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
This ship is in a... state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately. Our security team would appreciate if you'd please shelter in your cabin during this emergency. Thank you.
Haven't you gotten enough out of me? You've already ruined our scheme. What else do you want? I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or drill.
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time. The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Our security team would appreciate if you'd please shelter in your cabin during this emergency. Thank you. This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately. All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time.
The siren of the
All
stars is now in
passengers,
emergency status.
may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency.
Our security
Please
team-
report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
I need to pack up and get out of here.
Hello. Welcome to the... the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. Me? No. Look, this is my first day on the job. Just cut me some slack, okay? I can't afford to lose it. I got a wife and kids to feed. Everything checks out. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. There we go. Have a wonderful day.
Caramba, mano, que missão longa, mano.
Full spacesuit.
There's a bit more in the back. If it belongs on your ship, oh, please, take a look. Thanks for coming in.
It's amazing what passes as art nowadays.
Let me take a look at your file. wanna kick back with the last note. Next time you see Bog, tell him to lighten up.
I heard Isma's sister is hardcore person.
Long live the fleet.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, neighbor, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand. Crix's legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galbank transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. You can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard. Don't know that one, huh? Well, pick up your pencil. There's gonna be a test on this later. EM class means the planet is giving off a ridiculously high amount of electromagnetic radiation. We're talking off the charts here. Fly your ship anywhere near one of these death traps, and you'll blow every single circuit on your ship. You'd be dead in space. Get it? Yeah, sure. We'll just wrap your ship in a ton of copper and launch you right in there. That ought to do the trick, right?
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Crix hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
The Rook's right. We tackle one problem at a time. Can we track it, Neva?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction. I promise. You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are in arm's reach of Crix's legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me.
start something? Because I'll finish it.
The fleet's the only family you need.
A slow ship will get you caught.
Care to upgrade that
Talk
ship
to
of yours?
Jazz if you need upgrades.
See you around.
All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award, or am I gonna be very disappointed? Well, that's because you'd be absolutely right. You see, everyone above you in the fleet is making more than you are off the same gig. That's why we're all fighting our way to the top. Understood? Good. Now, you might want to hand over that award before I have you tossed off the key. Just a thought.
First of all, this is my section of the key, so I'm gonna stand here for as long as I want. And second of all, I know all about that award and your deal with Neva. We don't keep secrets between us. Just throttle down and give her the damn thing already so we can get to work.
Well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. Of course, it would have been more money if you hadn't blabbed about the damn thing to roll call, but that's on you. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it.
You've got stuff to smuggle, I've got the stuff to hide it.
Those crabs ain't gonna steal themselves.
Always ask for a bigger cut. It's all about taking those credits.
So there I am.
Nothing like the smell of a dead shark after you cook them with an energy.
Yes, what?
So I heard there was a bit of excitement on the Siren of the Stars. Your handiwork, I assume?
We told you we'd be keeping tabs on you. So, did you get information for us or not?
Yes, and I heard there were no casualties. Excellent work.
Except for the eclectic hit squad that you took down at the archives. You've taken care of that mess, by the way.
Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the Galbank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the legacy went down at Bannock 4. Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Toft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. The Bannock system was the site of a significant battle during the Narian War. I had to do a research paper on the subject at the Academy. It sounds like you admire that lunatic. I think his gospel's gone straight to your head. Maybe we made a mistake choosing you for this assignment.
That's enough, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. They have information about the comm spike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the comm spike. Lieutenant Toft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. My superiors are stubborn. They aren't going to authorize an attack on the key based on my flights of fancy, I've been told. We need more evidence that all the Crimson Fleet's plans will result in them actually getting their hands on this fabled cache of credits. I don't see the point. The Crimson Fleet apparently has a pipeline of information flowing from somewhere within the UC military. Any attempt to move the comm spike would be a waste of time. We need to play this close to the vest. Perfect. Just stick with the plan, and we'll see who gets to Krix's legacy first.
This mission is going to require discretion on a number of fronts. They're pirates in every sense of the word, but they've managed to get more organized under their current leadership. That makes them especially dangerous, but hopefully it makes them a little more predictable too. We'll provide you with information, but any inventory or ship services, it's best you get from the fleet. It'll help you maintain your cover and also give you an idea of how the fleet's operation works. I know as much as you do. I wasn't briefed on this particular device. But if the fleet wants to trace the Legacy's transponder signal, they'll need something beyond the decryption tech we have currently. If such a device exists, it's likely being developed by the UC. That information is classified, so even what I do know, I can't divulge. Now, I realize as part of this mission, you'll probably end up finding out anyway, but that's besides the point. For the sake of your cover, it's best you work with whatever information the fleet gives you. Two reasons. First, Commander Akande's playing this operation extremely close to the vest. That means keeping prisoners under his own roof until this is resolved. Second, this is an undercover mission. For our safety and yours, we need to keep these prisoners out of the spotlight. Glad to hear it. Let's see what you got. Are you kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a 6-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. It's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. Find anything else? I'll be damned. So some of the UC guards at the lock helped touch off the riots. Everyone thought he was some kind of legendary criminal mastermind, but even the great Jasper Cricks needed a helping hand to get out of prison. That it? It's amazing that all this romantic nonsense about Crix's legacy really just amounts to a rumor Jasper Cricks picked up in jail. It just goes to show you how a tiny rumor can snowball into a full-blown fairy tale. Have any more? Okay, fine. I know there's more out there, so keep on it. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? Okay. But don't say I didn't warn you. You might not like what I have to say. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. Oh, come on. I haven't exactly been cordial about my feelings towards the Crimson Fleet's illegal activities. Oh, does it now? Was I giving off some kind of ex-con sort of vibe? Well, give me a chance to explain. I grew up in the well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. Hell no. I made enough money to buy my own apartment. Filled it with some decent stuff, too. I'd even send pictures of the place to my folks to rub it in. I was a real asshole. Well, I wasn't a nice person. That's just it, though. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Very funny. And not even relatively close. Let's just say the years after my time in the well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past. To know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. You're welcome. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
This mission will be tricky. The comm spike will be heavily guarded, but I trust you can do it without violence.
Early reports say your mission was a success.
Bom, meus amigos, quero terminar por aqui. Quero agradecer a todos aí que deixaram o like, que se inscreveram no canal, sempre dando aquela moral da hora pro canal. Muito obrigado a todos e até a próxima live. Falou!